this is all 16mm film. It's a mixture of black and white and colour. Some of it's combined soundtrack and some of it's separate soundtrack. It is all news. This is nearly all the sort of 6:30 local news type programme, although there is some farming and sport in there as well. You know, the news about sport that week or that day, the news about farming that week. Farming was massive and was covered as a weekly subject as well as in the news in its own right. We have some more news in large cans over there where they would have done a weekly catch-up on the news. This is a mixture of Beta and Beta SP, and I think is a continuation of news, both as, yes it is, both as camera tape and as cut item for inject into the programme itself. Then we have mostly 1-inch tape here, but there is a little bit of 2-inch tape as well. That's nearly all documentaries, both as shot and edited final piece. There's some 16 and 35mm cans up there, and down here again you're looking at 1-inch tapes. There's a few 2-inch tapes amongst this. 1-inch difficult format to work with, one of the first tape formats. And I think down at that end we have some big Beta tapes as well, which are programme tapes in the middle. What we had to do is we had to do two things. We had to fit them all in this space, which meant that we had to fill up all available runs of space. We had to try and keep some order, because if you don't know what order the shelves are in, then you can't actually find anything on it, because that's how it's sourced in the database. And again, if we look down here, we've got a massive row of 1-inch and Beta SP. As a matter of interest, we did a count not very long ago on the news type material that we had. There's over 12,000 cans of 16mm film for the ITV news for this area. So that gives you some idea of the sizing. These two runs here are all Beta, but there's some small Beta and some large Beta. So the large Beta tends to be documentaries, and the small Beta, this is a transmission cassette, as it says on there. And so what have we got on here? Today Southwest Special, transmitted on the, oh, that's so ironic, 31st of the 12th, 1992. So that was the last thing ever put out on TSW. In these boxes we have HTV material, and just looking at them I can see that these have all got 16mm film in, and these have all got 1-inch in, and those have got both a mixture of large and small Betas. So they've come in numbered cans. Down here we've got some, there's an old friend that's now gone, VHS tapes, and that's just material that we would sort of sell on to the public. Nearly gone. If somebody had said to us 2.5 years ago that VHS will disappear basically within 9 months, but that's what happened. Quite extraordinary. Yet more Beta. Beta by the yard. This is our largest, part of our largest incoming film collection here, all 16mm, made by one man. There's over 300 cans in there, but there's some Beta. There's some VHSs which were brought out of people's offices, and then we start to get on to the collections where we have mixtures. And what we try to do is for each collection, is to give it its own identity by parcelling it up, numbering the parcels. Unfortunately, we're not really happy about them being parcelled up in either paper or boxes, so we're looking to plastic box a lot of that. But that's why we've got a mixture of all different types of formats going along this shelf, with some 16 and 35mm, nearly all 16 on this side. And as you can see, we're back to 16mm film plastic containers, which is much better than metal, all down this side, and down that side with a tiny bit of tape down that end. And yet more boxes. These have all got 16mm film in. And as we move on down, we've got more 1-inch, and then we've got mixed boxes of material coming from somewhere. I don't know if that's ours or H material. Let's just have a look. Underwater fishing. Oh, I would say that is, yeah, that's HTV, which needs to be boxed into these big plastic boxes that we're using of all different shapes and sizes. And then if you look down here, what we've basically got is the remainder of the box collection. Well, the reason why we're putting all this material in boxes is because it will keep better for the period of time that we've got here. It creates its own microclimate within the box. So that's what we have.